So a little over a year ago, after I came out with the controversial video where I stated that Napoleon is Ridley Scott's best movie, and I still believe that to this day, one of the movies I was there to watch was Kingdom of Heaven, as a result of that video. Now I have finally done that, so I will sit down and analyze that movie, and I will tell you lads why I still don't think it is one of Ridley Scott's best movies. First and foremost, in this movie we see too much focus on the religious aspect, not so much on the war and the battle scenes. The movie has a message where it seems no matter what you have done, no matter if you've been a murderer and done other bad things before, you can come to the kingdom of Jerusalem, find salvation, and get healed from your sins. That's the message the movie seems to give. But the lengths it takes to bury that deeper meaning is not always on the entertaining side. As a second outcry against this movie, it is based on how the movie slows down a lot, and there are longer periods where you do not see too much happening in the story at times. You simply focus too much on the emotional aspect, the strategical aspect, and the love interests of the characters, rather than making a more raw and brutal movie. Sure, in a battle, strategical planning is important, but a battle only really happens after the king dies, and there's a lot of story around that, which is not really that interesting, such as the offers to Ibelin to marry Sibylla, or the interest of that other man towards her that only wants her love to send his knights into battle. Another downside of the movie comes down to the battle scenes, which in my opinion are not as good as in Napoleon, The Last Duel, and in The Duelists. Yes, the battle scenes are pretty good as the forces of Saladin stormed the gates of Jerusalem towards the end of the movie, but for most of the time, they are not as well done as in his other movies. They are not tense enough, they are not filmed that well, and the overview you for instance get in Napoleon is much better than in this one. In many ways, you could just say that this is a bad version of 300. You know, that war movie from 2006 that in many ways became the breakout movie from Zack Snyder. Another outcry against this movie comes in the form of the characters, where you see very few of them being very good. Mostly it is Orlando Bloom with his inspiring speeches and fighting spirit in the role as Balian of Ibelin, in addition to the Ruthless Saladin played by Ghassan Massoud, that does a fiery performance in this role of the king among the Muslim forces during this movie, while Brendan Gleeson also does a decent job at being this character with crazy ideas. He does not really have that much screen time and does not really seem to be a very important character. Of course, he does a fine job as this high-on-the-hog character that tries to influence other people to battle, but he is also easily put aside by Saladin as an enemy of their people, and he also does not do a good job of making friends among his own people as well. The movie, in short, has bad parts and good parts, but the bad parts with less entertaining moments makes it into a film that cannot defend its longer screen time. While the director's cut may give a more complete picture of the whole story, that does not mean you have enough entertaining moments to cover such a long screen time. And that's why I will give this movie a 6 out of 10.